And I found so many things. I just want to share a couple with you right now. So, for instance, things like this. So how often were the different cameras on the Rover used? For a bunch of different cameras. You see them listed there. However, we really have overwhelmingly favored the pan-cam instrument, the left and right image instrument pair of that instrument. That's way more than half of the pictures we've taken. Dwarfs the rest of them beyond it. Didn't expect that extreme. And within the pan-cam, it has lots of different filter wheels. It can see many different wavelengths of light. So we have 12 different filter wheels that we can look through, from ultraviolet to infrared, and somehow we have still favored red, green, and blue. I know they're not that color, but those are the three filter wheels, red, green, and blue there. Let's go a little deeper though. This top graph is how many pictures per week each of the rovers took over the lifetime of the mission. And you can see some things like the red graph is Spirit, the blue graph is Opportunity. You can see Spirit meeting its ultimate end there. But some interesting things jumped out at me. First, that dip there in Opportunity, and then I looked back and I found another one of them just about 2 years before there. And I thought, that's interesting. Why did the robot stop taking pictures right around then? Well, it's because the sun was in the way. Went back and checked the mission calendar. Earth, Mars, Sun. Sometimes the sun ends up in the middle of them. We can't talk to the rover. It's called conjunction. But that was interesting. I saw that. But then some of them didn't line up quite right. So I noticed a couple of those were conjunctions, but this one right here, that didn't line up with a conjunction. That's strange. I'm sorry, not that one. This one. That didn't line up with a conjunction. It did line up, however, with the worst dust storm that we've ever seen on Mars. It choked out 98% of the sun reaching the rovers. The top picture is what Mars normally looks like. The bottom picture is what it looked like in July 2007. That's why the rovers were doing nothing, because they were fighting to stay alive and barely did. But I want to draw your attention to one more very interesting thing. That. I first thought it was a conjunction. It's not. I stared at it longer and I said, you know what, it's too long to be a conjunction. It's also too perfect looking. See, the red graph is Spirit, the blue graph is Opportunity. They are offset, those dips there, by exactly the same number of days between the landing dates. I thought I had a bug. I went and looked at my code, everything that had loaded this off, the data in all the data sources. It was there in all of them. So I contacted the people on the mission who are responsible for the official data archive of the mission. This is taken directly from the data files that we have placed into NASA's archive for posterity. It is the exact gold standard that is available to scientists forever. There was a huge error in the data. And I believe I'm the first person to ever look at the data this way, because you guys made it so damn easy for me. I mean, it literally took me like an hour to put all that data into your system. They are now working to fix this problem. And so I want to say thank you on behalf of the agency I work for to all the people who helped build this product, because you have corrected not a small mistake, but a big issue in something that is part of the legacy of this mission. So somebody up here mentioned earlier that you hoped people would try to build things that surprised you. I hope this is a surprise. It was a surprise to me. I'm really grateful for it. I have just one last thing to mention, which is that I wanted you guys to be able to also experience how much fun I've had with diving into this data. So I created another page here, and I'll put the URL for this whole thing. It's all up online. You guys can all play with it. And it's called, the page I'm clicking on there is called Flipbooks. So what you can do is, every one of those things that I showed in those graphs, well, it's a picture. It's a picture taken from Mars. So what you can do here is go to this website, and you can write queries using the syntax from the Keen.io library. And I've got instructions all down here that tell you how to do it. And you can build these flipbooks, which are series of images on Mars. This happens to be a query that shows you all of the pictures that Spirit took from its front has cam for the first 90 days of the mission. If I just click in here and change that to MER1 and submit, now I'm going to get all of the Opportunity images. So this is its first 200 days taken from one of its cameras. I have some other fun ones here. I have pictures, like We've taken 20,000 pictures of the calibration target on the rover. I kid you not. There's a very good scientific reason for that. But if you would like to sit and watch all 20,000 pictures of the calibration target, you may, at least until your browser runs out of memory, which I'm afraid won't be forever. And I'll also point out that I was able to put queries in like this one, which says it's all of the left cameras with instrument elevation less than 55 degrees, so looking down. So these are all the pictures that Spirit took of itself. I want to invite you guys to go and play with it. I'll just put the URL up real quick. It is that. Go explore. Only thing I ask is that you send me an email if you find some really cool query that produces some interesting flipbook. I apologize, it is not particularly user-friendly. There are instructions on that page to try to help you out with it, but it's pretty raw still. But I want you to think as you're doing it that you're not just exploring data, but that you're exploring space as well. So with that, I skip over my quotes and just end, and thank you very much.